So I took the time to watch this documentary by CBS called Boys to Men. And my reaction to this documentary is not only is it hit and miss, but the irony of it all is, keep in mind, this is coming from a news outlet who is pro-feminist, and keep this in mind as well, spun most of their investigative journalism finding ways to demonize and guilt trip men. But now even CBS is starting to see the effects of the cause. Now the same CBS is wondering why America's sons are struggling. Lord knows how many times I watched this documentary over and over and over again, just to spot where they were accurate on, what did they miss, and where they completely screwed up on. What they're accurate on is, yes, men are struggling. Most men, especially young men and boys, would rather choose career over dating and interacting. What they miss is the fact that most of the stuff they talked about in this documentary, I can't help but look at it as cherry picking and only focusing on just one issue and just one category, while disregarding all the issues and categories that's involved that led to America's sons is struggling. And where they screwed up at on this documentary is the fact that they don't want to give people the full course. They only want to generalize the things that they want people to see, not the entire story. Case in point, there's more to this story than what CBS is trying to put out. But this is the same CBS that's wondering how come despite not just their attempts, but all the other attempts to try to demonize the red pill, the manosphere, and these male spaces constantly fails. I mean, it's like reading a book halfway, and when someone tells you, give me what is the story the book is about, you can only talk about the beginning and halfway through the middle part, but you can't tell them what happened in the end. This is how I look at this documentary. And yes, I'm going to highlight a few flaws in it. First off, let's talk about CBS's version of a red pill. And yes, I agree with one of the people that they were interviewing. Yes, red pill consists of several men's groups. But if red pill consists of multiple groups of male spaces, how come CBS is only focusing on just one particular group in the red pill? Why is CBS only concerned when it comes to the red pill? Why CBS is only talking about the dating coaches and the pickup artists as if that's the only group in red pill? Moreover, their examples of the red pill consist of Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, Rollo Tomasi, and all these gurus, but disregard the other groups in the red pill. Where did they talk about the men's rights activists? That's red pill. What about fathers' rights activists? That's also red pill. The MGTOWs, that's red pill. SYSBM, that's red pill. You don't even hear them talk about the passport bros, and that's partially red pill, not all the way, but partially. Nope, nope. Forget all these other male spaces existing. Let's just only focus on dating coaches and the pickup artist that is red pill. And yes, I do agree with the vast majority of the comments under that documentary. And yes, it is clear to see that CBS completely missed the point. CBS completely missed the point on the actual definition of red pill and these male groups that resides in it. Then again, I take that back. They didn't miss the point. The point flew right over their head. So CBS is only focusing on just one group in particular in the red pill space, while disregarding all the other groups and their concerns. And it's not even hard to tell, considering the fact that most of that documentary consists of them whining and crying about Andrew Tate as if Andrew Tate is somehow the king of the red pill, in which there are no kings in red pill. Not one person, nor one group has complete control. And this is what the red pill is about. It's not about dominance. It's about male unity. Yes, and these groups, we have our disagreements. And some of these male spaces, we don't get along with each other. But we all have one common goal. We all have one common end game. So CBS's documentary, Boys to Men, completely missed an opportunity on that. What's more, all I hear is how misogyny is bad. Misogyny is causing it all. But notice that CBS don't want to say nothing about misandry. And yes, and CBS, I want y'all to listen to this shit. Misandry also has a hand in the reason why we young men or boys is in the situation that they're in right now. How long will y'all continue to ignore the other side of defense of sexism? Yeah, you got men who hate women, but let's not sit here and pretend like there are no women out here who hate men. Y'all don't want to talk about that shit either. But y'all are wondering why America's sons are struggling. And until they do, until biased news outlets and all these other media operations finally get down to the point where they can actually dig deeper, not just surface level research or investigative journalism, but dig even deeper, get to know all the groups of the red pill and the manosphere, not just cherry pick certain groups and people. then the situation is going to persist. And need a reminder, this is the same CBS that wanted to demonize men, guilt trip men, and make it seem like these men are the villains. Now CBS is singing a different tune because now they seeing that what they're trying to do at first ain't working. In fact, what's happening now is the things that all these male spaces were talking about. And now that it's happening, now they're concerned about the plight of men and young boys, young men and boys. I'm not gonna sit here. Now I'm not gonna sit here and try to have this "I told you so" moment. But I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said. I'd be lying if I didn't say that y'all had that shit coming. You can't you can't put down men. You cannot belittle men. You cannot guilt trip men. You cannot shame men. You cannot demonize men and expect for them to see things your way. You cannot you cannot make you cannot make all these movies, all these shows, all these advertisements, all these commercials trying to vilify men and expect them to join your side. If they really cared about about men, especially young men and boys, then how about checking it at the source, not just trying to make men look inferior, make men feel like they're less than. They wouldn't be on here trying to make it seem like, oh, these male spaces, they're extremists, they're terroristic. Instead, instead, they would try to find common ground, understand the situation, and come up with actual solutions, not some quick fix. Oh, I think this is the problem. I think this is the problem. And still and not only don't get good results, but make the situation worse than it already is. And I'm being brutally honest on that. But this is my take on that on the Boys to Men documentary. And again, for shout out to Manosphere Highlights Daily for recommending me this documentary for me to do a review. And yes, Manosphere Highlights Daily did a fine good job breaking down this documentary. And yes, I'll put a link to his video in the comment section. Y'all can go check it out and tell him JD Miles sent you. I mean, as far as this documentary, come on, CBS. You can't half-ass the job and then expect for people to and respect for men to listen. If you're going to do investigative journalism and you're going to do your research, don't cherry pick. Don't give out your version. Dig deep. and understand why things are the way they are. And with that, I said what I had to say. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.